Hello, you know what channel it is. Right, here is the startings of the story of Durham. Okay, if you're wondering why all them people are carrying a coffin, this story actually starts up on the Holy Island, which you might have seen me on many months ago. Many months ago. But yeah, it starts there. It was Saint Cuthbert. Yeah, I can't pronounce it either. Back in the 7th century, and he was one of the people that first brought Christianity to the north of England. And then, of course, you know, he passes away, and then for some reason they opened up his coffin, and his remains were still intact. Which is, you know, why you would do that, I don't know. Which is another reason he's meant to be, you know, so sacred and become the same. And then with the threat of Vikings, yeah, we're going from Vikings over to Christianity now, which is pretty much what Morforge Viking settlement is about, really. The end of paganism into Christianity. Right, back to the story anyway. So we're in the city, there goes the police car. Yeah, back to the story. And then basically, because they were threatening to raid the place, they moved the coffin, but of course they ended up having to keep moving, and they went all the way over into Scotland, and then came back past, you know, back down through the Pennines, through Ripon, and then eventually they ended up on a rocky outcrop with a circle of the River Wear in it. And apparently legend states that the coffin became immovable, so it was basically like St. Cuthbert, I will get that right one day, Cuthbert, basically, you know, a holy act of this is where I want to be built. And that is why you've got such an impressive cathedral up there, and that's where it started. It started off as a wooden church, and then when the Normans, which is basically the Vikings again, but that's the way it goes, Normans came up here, they built the massive cathedral, and that's where St. Cuthbert still lies today. And that is a brief history of Durham. Right, we're back into the town centre now. We've got so many people around here. A lot of teenagers. Boy, they look miserable. They look like my mum and sisters when they haven't got anything to moan about. I know I really rat on about them. That's because they absolutely deserve it. Right, anyway, back to Durham. Over here is an impressive statue of Neptune, which is basically when they mapped out properly for the River Wear to get to the ocean, and bringing it in is much more of a, you know, easy market town to get trades, goods and everything in, and it's quite got a lot steeped in history as well. God, getting out of breath. Yeah, steeped in military history as well, which is quite fantastic. Oh, Durham University is founded. Well, fair enough. So I was just looking, I've never seen these ones before. Like a rose line out of Da Vinci Code. God, my brain's going today. Yeah, and this gives you another clue on how much it's steeped in military history it is. But it is. I'm not usually one for towns, I must admit. I'm not usually one for towns. But I do like Durham. Or city, shall I say. But I do like Durham City. It's got something about it. A certain vibe that you don't really get, you know. It's not an unsafe vibe. It's a, you know, let's get on vibe. Let's, you know, see what's it. It's got a vibe of knowledge in it. But then again, for a university town, what do you expect? Right, I think I've rambled on quite a bit. I still haven't had anything to eat today, so I must get something inside me. But I don't know where I'm going to do that or get out of Durham, because it took me a hell of a long time to get in here. You look down on the sat nav and it told me 19 minutes to do half a mile. I was like, you've got to be sure. But yeah, it was right. It was absolutely right. Right, other than that, you know, there's a brief history of Durham. Hope you enjoy it. And as I always say, take it easy, keep adventuring, and love you, bye.